Shalom. I want to start by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Chakodash. Yahweh being the true, holy, and powerful name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai being the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son. Rachakodash being the Holy Spirit that speaks to us so that we can divide this word correctly and directly. I also want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and say Shalom to the whole elect that they're pushing this word in truth and in sincerity, striving their best to do us right in the eyes of the Lord. But I just wanted to go into these different plagues that's taking place in the earth right now. The scriptures speak about the plagues that the Lord is going to bring upon this place. And what we see right now is the beginning stages of the plagues that the Lord is bringing. We're not in the plagues into their most intense point. We're not in the most intense part of the plagues, but we're at the beginning of the plagues. And these things that we're seeing taking place on the earth right now is only going to increase in intensity. And we're in the time right now, like the scriptures speak about the beginning of sorrows. I'm going to grab that real quick. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 17. Woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? And this is what Ezra said as the Lord showed him what was going to take place here in these latter days. And this also shows that Ezra is going to be here in the latter days. But this shows the intensity of the different things that the Lord is going to be bringing upon the earth. It says, verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. And like I said, we're in that time right now. We're at the beginning of sorrows. The Lord is bringing sorrow upon this earth. The Lord is bringing this earth to a lower state. You got natural disasters in different places taking place all over the world. You got wars and rumors of wars. You got people talking about how everything is just not the same. Holidays, so-called holidays aren't the same. You got protests going on all around the world. You got Esau laying down his foundation for his NWO, putting into writing all these draconian laws. And these plagues is going to keep increasing. You got the war going on. Like I believe I mentioned it over there in the East, which is affecting what's taking place over here in the West and all around the world. You got gas prices shooting up. You got inflation, energy prices rising because of these different data centers that's being put together. The environment being destroyed because of these different data centers being put together, on top of all the other things that Esau allows in his wicked kingdom. We're in the beginning of sorrows. We're at the beginning. And again, these things that's taking place in the earth is going to keep increasing. These plagues, these sorrows is going to be intensified in the earth. It says, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. We see looming famines. You got Esau pushing forth his different agendas concerning taking away meat for people, destroying these different factories, diseasing these different animals so that they can cull them, kill them off, taking up these different farmers' farmland. The fertilizer shortage because of the energy crisis that's going on, because of the war that's taking place. These are the times that we're in. And we're not seeing the empty shelves right now, but we're coming into a time where there's going to be empty shelves everywhere. Resources are going to be scarce. What does the precept say? The full storehouses shall be found empty. Suddenly shall the full storehouses be found empty. We're coming into them times. It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. the beginning of evils. And what shall I do when these evils shall come? So we're in the time of evil. Right? It's at the beginning of wars. We're seeing these different wars taking place, right? We got America, Iran, and Israel going at it, which if this intensifies, it's going to bring in these different superpowers, including Russia. You got Trump making threats like, I'm going to come in and take Iran's Kari Island, take it over, which is Iran's main source of income. So if he would have went through with that, that would have been big problems on the earth, but he chickened out. But that still shows the times that we in, different things that these leaders is saying. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. You got the prophets out here explaining that we're in the times that Yahweh Shai is going to bring great judgment upon this place. And you got these different plagues taking place on a small scale, but people aren't paying attention. I'm going to jump down to verse 38. Verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son. With 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So just like when a woman is pregnant, she's going through her contractions. Those contractions start out light and spread out. And as the pregnancy or the her given labor progresses, those contractions get more intense and shorter in between contractions. That's how these plagues is going to be until Yahweh Shai returns. And again, we're at the beginning of that. What we see taking place in the earth right now is not going to slow down. It's not going to get easier or less intense. These things is just going to keep increasing upon the earth. And again, really the point of this video is just saying that we're in these times already. These plagues have already started to hit the earth. But we're just at the early stage. Where it's not touching everybody. Where not everybody's feeling it right now. But soon everybody's going to feel it. I'm going to grab this real quick. I'll jump to this in the Google. I'm going to ask the AI this question, which I've asked in the previous lesson. But again, I just want to highlight the point that we're in these times and these things are just going to keep increasing. It says, well, it's not writing it out for some reason. I liked how I ordered it when I wrote out. I'll just try to type it in one more time. It says, have natural disasters been increasing in the past 10 years? I wrote then, but I meant 10, it understood. Yes, natural disasters have been frequently Yes, natural disasters have been increasing significantly in both frequency and severity over the past 10 years. Data tracks from groups like USA Facts and Climate Control show that 9 of the 10 years with the most billion-dollar natural disasters have occurred in the last decade. A warming global atmosphere coupled with shifting localized weather patterns have accelerated the timeline of these events, having communities with less time to recover between crises. And Esau can give his scientific reasoning for everything that's taking place right now, but at the end of the day, we understand that these things that's taking place is the working of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua and him bringing plagues upon this place. I'm going to grab this real quick. Just one precept concerning this. The scriptures speak about how the Lord says, shall there be evil in the city and the Lord hath not done it? Showing you that the Lord is the one orchestrating everything that takes place in the earth, including these plagues. But this is Isaiah 29 and verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. So the Lord is bringing these different things. The Lord is bringing these different natural disasters. It says the numbers behind the increase. I'll just grab ones that stick out to me. It says surging annual averages. The U.S. averaged about $3 billion disasters per year in the 1980s. Over the past 10 years, the average has climbed to 19 events annually. That's heavy. I went from $3 billion disasters per year to recently it's been 19 events in 1 year. Record-breaking years. The consecutive years of 2023 and 24 shattered all previous records, logging 28 to 20 and 27 standalone billion-dollar disasters respectively. Which disasters are rising the fastest? Severe storms, tropical cyclones and hurricanes, island and flash flooding, wildfires. Right? Just grabbing that quick point from chat or the AI mode in Google, showing you that the Lord is bringing natural disasters upon this place, showing you that we're in them plagues already. The Lord is, we're in the beginning of sorrows. Right? I mentioned earlier the gas pump, these different prices going up, creating that squeeze on these people. I'll type this in also into the AI mode in Google. I typed in, have protests been increasing in the past 5 years around the world? Yes, major anti-government and social protests have risen sharply to record-breaking levels over the past 5 years. I'll grab this precept. This is 2 Ezra 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. It said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. We do that through the prophecies. Listening to the different things that the Lord said was going to come to pass and watching them take place in the earth shows us what time we in. It says, then shalt thou understand that it's the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world. Right? We seeing these different prophecies take place. We understand that the Lord is about to physically come to this place and take over. It says, verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Right? This is a part of the beginning of sorrows. This is a part of the plagues. These are the part of the signs that the Lord said that will be taking place before his return. Spoke about earthquakes and uproars of the people. And we just read that in the chat. It said, yes, major anti-government and social protests have risen sharply to record-breaking levels over the past 5 years. I'll read this short paragraph right here. Data from the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace Global Protest Tracker shows that over 120 significant anti-government protests erupted more than 70 countries within the last year alone, marking some of the highest mobilization numbers recorded since tracking began. What began as a spike in unrest following the COVID-19 pandemic has solidified into an enduring global trend. So ever since the C-19 came on the scene, protests have increased. Again, just showing what times we're in. Primary drivers of the increase, I'll just read the headings. It says, the cost of living crisis, anger over corruption, democratic backsliding and executive overreach, climate and basic resource deficits. And that's all I'll grab from that. And I just wanted to point showing that these different uproars of the people is increasing. Why? Because these plagues is already started in the earth. And I'll say it again, these things is going to keep increasing. These are the beginning of sorrows. You got Esau setting up the foundation for him, for the NWO, as I said before. You got his ICE troops in the streets. You got these sea camps or holding centers being built for so-called immigrants, which Esau can use them for whatever he wants, which he's going to use it to persecute those that's not down with his system. Ultimately, those that won't take that MOTB that he wants to establish in the earth, as it speaks about in Revelations 13 and 16. He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. That mark going into the micro C-hip that Esau and his system is going to push across the four corners of the earth. Things is going to get a lot more draconian. Things is going to get a lot more harsh in the world because of Esau and the different things he's trying to establish in the earth. And that's another part of the sorrows and the plagues that the Lord is bringing upon this place, especially the wicked of his people. I'm going to grab this real quick. And like I said, this is going to be a quick one. I'm going to end it off with this, Lord will, if I don't have anything else. This is Revelations 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So Esau is going to come down having great wrath, and we see that being set up right now. Along with these buildings that he's building across the United States, he also been ordering guillotines and family-sized caskets, incinerators. These things is not being bought to be set up in storage. These buildings aren't being built to turn them into nothing nice. We already seen how Jake was being mistreated in some of these buildings. And these things is going to keep increasing upon the earth. But the elect is going to be saved. The elect is going to be protected through these times that we're coming into. That's why it's key to fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. I ended off with this actually. This is Daniel 12 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, that great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So the Lord's going to, I'll read in the NLT. At that time, Michael, the archangel, who stands guard over your nation, will arise. Then there shall be a time of anguish greater than any since nations first came into existence. But at that time, every one of your people whose name is written in the book will be rescued. So the Lord going to bring great tribulation and anguish upon this place. And we're at the beginning of that. But what did it say? Those that's written in the book will be rescued. Matter of fact, I'll finish it. I'll read the latter in the NLT or in the KJV. It says, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. I thought it said book of life. But the elect is going to be protected and delivered from these times. And the elect is going to be trusting in Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua, walking in faith and fear until the very end. They're going to endure to the end and be delivered. So just a quick lesson concerning the times that we in. How that we're already in these times and these things is going to keep increasing. And the elect is going to be those that's delivered. So Lord's will, this video is edifying. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Chakodash. Again, I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and say shalom to the hopeful elect that they're pushing this word in truth and in sincerity, striving their best to do so right in the eyes of the Lord. To my next one, shalom.